the political side of things shows that a lot of people aren't as interested in the female-led superhero genre. This came out via Deadline that Supergirl is expected to sit out this year's Super Bowl, which means the trailer. There's no trailers expected to come out during the Super Bowl. There's actually a number of studios who are sitting out the Super Bowl this year. This is something that I've been saying for how long now? And all of you viewers, all of you listeners can attest to this who have been watching and following me for a while. I have been stating that Supergirl is going to follow a very similar marketing strategy of that of Superman. Yes, I know it's going to be shifted about a week or two in differences, but it's going to follow a very similar marketing strategy. First off, spending millions and millions of dollars on a 30-second ad on the Super Bowl just to then put a trailer online doesn't make any sense. So it's not a missed opportunity, especially when it's probably a safe bet to think that they're going to have a Spider-Man trailer and an Avengers trailer and some other Odyssey trailer and who knows what else. Like, there's going to be some big trailers playing on or around the day of the Super Bowl. So Supergirl could easily get drowned out. So it's not a smart move. I see Donovan says, I heard the Puppy Bowl will tease Supergirl. Again, I don't think so, because remember, last year we didn't get a tease of Superman at the Puppy Bowl. So if they do another collaboration with the Puppy Bowl, I think it's going to be very similar to what we got last year. And that's fine. I don't think it's going to be James Gunn sitting there talking, but maybe it'll be something similar where it's the cast. Maybe Millie Alcock talks about, a pet that she had or something. I don't know exactly, but I don't think they're going to have a teaser even at the Puppy Bowl. Personally, I think it'll be just like Superman, which was just a few weeks after the Super Bowl, we got a new trailer, and that's what's going to happen here. There's no reason to push out a trailer at the Super Bowl. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. I mean, when there's so much other noise going on around that time, there's no need for it. But what does that mean for things? Because I love what Movie Hubbub says right here, because he says, have you covered realistic box office expectations? Curious to watch your take. I compare what they'll expect for a win as doing Thunderbolt's numbers, $400 million, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, would be right on for Supergirl. She has no massive historical franchise success, such as Spider-Man, etc. So this leads into this, because what a lot of people are going to say is, oh, they're not going to showcase Supergirl at the Super Bowl. Oh, that's just asking for a complete missed opportunity to get more money at the box office. And that's not the case at all. If you ask me, I will be posting this article later today or tomorrow at slavsfreetalk.com, but there is an expectation for Supergirl. There really is. And the expectation for Supergirl isn't necessarily 700, 800, a billion. It's not. I don't even believe that the expectation for Supergirl is $618 million, which would be $1 million more than what Superman made. I don't even think it's that. Because realistically, as Movie Hubbub said there, it doesn't have the franchise. He says it doesn't have the historical franchise success, nor does it have the excitement behind the character. It doesn't. So I don't see it opening like Superman. I think it's because it's not a mainstream box office brand, at least not yet. It's not going to draw like a Superman, a Batman, or a Spider-Man. And we know Spider-Man's going to be huge this year. We know that Batman's always pretty big. Superman did really well, but I don't think that Supergirl's going to even hit that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but we also have to look at the star, Millie Alcock. Fantastic actor, but she's not a household name yet. At least not yet. We do have some strong supporting characters in someone like Jason Momoa, who is fantastic and looks great as Lobo, but he's only in it in a supporting role, limited time on screen. Yes, he may help boost a little bit of draw to the film, but he is not the main box office draw. And then let's not forget that When it releases does matter. And while it doesn't have a lot of competition immediately right around the film, the couple weeks following the movie, people will be going to the movies a lot in the summer, and it can very well lessen the amount of people who go to see it because there's so much to go see. Do I think that's going to be a big factor in it? No. But again, that is a factor that you may need to look at. You also have to look at the whole female-led superhero film type of stuff, because Wonder Woman back in 2017 did really well at $820 million box office with a over $400 million domestic draw. Captain Marvel in 2019 made $1.1 billion with a $425-ish million domestic draw. However, the latest real female-led film, which was the Marvels back a few years ago, only made $200 million worldwide at the box office, with a domestic draw of about $85 million. Now, here's the thing. You also have to take a look at what's been going on in the world politically. You have to take a look at what's been going on with the genre, things like that, because the genre has cooled off quite a bit. It really had. I mean, I've talked about it how many times. When you look at the average box office for these movies over the last number of years, from 2023, where it was about 395 to about 450 million in 2024, it did have an uptick in 2025 to averaging about $485 million average box office, which is great. That is absolutely great because we're seeing it go back up, but it's still far away from what it used to be. So they're not these billion-dollar spectacles anymore, nor should we think that a female-led superhero movie can hit that billion-dollar mark, especially because the political side of things shows that a lot of people aren't as interested in the female-led superhero genre. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a good movie. That doesn't mean that Millie Alcock is going to be awesome in the film. It just highlights what is going on politically in this world. And personally, I'm looking forward to the movie. I hope that they don't push their certain political agendas, left-leaning agendas in it, because that would be a shame. But it is a possibility. And if they do that, that will affect the box office. However, if they just stay true to the comic book character and true to what the genre is supposed to be, about a hero, about saving the world, quote unquote, the world, and just having heroic moments, this movie could be pretty big. So, again, you got to take a look at a lot of things like that. So what could it realistically make? Honestly, I think a very conservative number would say between 400 to 500, 475, somewhere around that. That's a conservative number. And I think, look, people are going to be interested in it, but much like Superman, they're going to say, look, it's going to be on streaming in just a couple months. Why not wait for streaming? And they're not going to just do that with Supergirl. They're going to do it with other films as well. But Supergirl isn't a must-see film of the year, where Spider-Man, The Odyssey, The Avengers, those are must-see films because you don't want to be left out of the event, out of the conversation. So, yeah, I think Supergirl could suffer from that. However, I think the most likely area is between 500 and 600 million. Because I think that there will be a solid audience response. And as long as there's a solid response and great reviews, the Momoa boost, and there's a lot of good word of mouth, I think this is a more likely scenario. And even if the word of mouth gets really strong, you could see upwards of over 600 million, even upwards to 700 million. And that is, look, unlikely, but it's always possible depending on how great the movie is. So my call is 550 million, give or take a little bit. That's really what I think is going to happen with Supergirl. Does that mean that what they do at the Super Bowl is going to affect this? No. If they show a trailer during the Super Bowl, around the Super Bowl, it's not going to hurt it. It's not going to help it. But if they don't, it's not going to hurt it. It's not going to help it. Like, that's what people need to understand. They showed a teaser a couple months ago, and then they're going to start showing more and more. You're going to start seeing things pop up online, pop up on store shelves. Remember how the Superman marketing went last year? It's going to be very similar. And them not having a teaser or a trailer during the Super Bowl did nothing. It didn't hurt the movie at all. It didn't. So I think people can calm down from that. So The biggest question is, if it hits 550 million, is that underperforming? No, it's not underperforming. People, look, I say it time and time again. This DCU, this new franchise, this new universe is an investment for DC Studios and Warner Brothers right now. They have to get back the audience who left because the old DCEU was in shambles, because it was just horrendous. Nobody cared about it. On top of that, the genre as a whole has been struggling for a number of years. 2025, you saw some strong outings. Superman, Fantastic Four. They had strong box office outings, a lot of great reception, and even Thunderbolts had a really strong reception. So you're seeing that there's some resurgence, that people are starting to get interested again. Look, Wonder Man just came out last week and people loved it. The genre is getting a bit of a resurgence, which is great to see. But it's not quite there. Warner Brothers and DC Studios understands that. They understand that they're in the early stages of this resurgence. Sure, Spider-Man, gonna make a billion. Avengers, gonna make over $1 billion. That is guaranteed because those are big event films. But when it comes to DC, when it comes to Warner Brothers and their outlook for what's going on, they know that they have to invest to get the audience back. And the reception of the movies is just as important, if not more so, than the box office it takes immediately in the early stages of this universe. So would 550 million be a disaster? Would it be a flop? Would it be horrendous and underperforming? No, it wouldn't. All it would mean is, hey, guess what? Supergirl is doing exactly what it needs to do. It's bringing people back. As long as it has great reception, it's bringing people back into enjoying DC. And it's a great stepping stone to continue building this universe. But yeah, that's pretty much it. When it comes to Supergirl, there's a lot of great things going on, and I hope you guys take a look at this when it posts on my website later today. Read over it all. And then I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it's terrible that Supergirl is not going to have a trailer at the Super Bowl? Do you think it hurts it? Do you think it helps it? Do you think it doesn't matter? Let me know. What do you think it's going to make at the box office when all is said and done? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.